I was wrapping up a project report when my phone buzzed. A text from my wife. Emergency. Need to use the vacation fund. My ex got arrested and needs bail money. It's serious. You'll understand. Family first. I stared at the screen for a solid 10 seconds. We'd been saving for 2 years. Hawaii. The trip we'd talked about since our honeymoon got canceled because her mother had a crisis that turned out to be wanting company while shopping for a new couch. Every paycheck, a portion went into that account. 24 months of skipping lunch out, driving my 12-year-old truck instead of upgrading, saying no to weekend trips with friends. All for a vacation that was finally, actually happening in 6 weeks. And she wanted to give it to her ex-boyfriend. Not even a call. A text. Like she was letting me know she'd be late for dinner. I checked the account balance on my phone. $14,372. Right there. Accessible to both of us because we'd set it up as a joint savings account specifically for this trip. My hands weren't shaking. That surprised me. I thought they would be. Instead, I felt weirdly calm. Like something had clicked into place that I'd been avoiding looking at for years. I typed back, family first. Sent it. Then I opened my banking app and started transferring. 50% of that account belonged to me. $7,186. I moved every cent to my personal checking account. The transfer went through instantly. Next, I opened a travel site I'd bookmarked months ago. First-class ticket to Maldives. Solo traveler. Departure tonight. I'd been looking at economy seats for both of us. Now I was looking at the front of the plane. Just for me. $1,100. One way. I booked it. Then I booked a resort. Ocean Villa. 10 nights. All-inclusive. The kind of place we'd scrolled through together saying, someday when we can afford it. I could afford it now. Total damage to my half of the savings. For $1,800. That left me with over $2,000 for spending money and whatever else I needed. My phone started ringing. Her name flashed on the screen. I declined the call and finished booking a spa package at the resort. She called again. Declined. Called again. Declined. A text came through. Why is half the money gone? I replied, taking care of myself. Family first, remember? Are you serious right now? I need that money. Correction. You need your half. I need mine. For family. Me. I'm family. My phone started blowing up. Calls, texts, more calls. I turned on Do Not Disturb, grabbed my jacket, and told my supervisor I had a personal emergency and needed to take my accumulated vacation days starting immediately. He looked concerned and told me to take care of whatever I needed. I drove home during lunch hour, packed a bag with summer clothes, my passport, and toiletries. The house was empty. She was probably at work, frantically trying to figure out how to come up with $7,000. I left my wedding ring on the kitchen counter with a note, gone to handle family priorities. Back when I'm ready. The airport was 40 minutes away. I parked in long-term parking and checked in at the counter. The woman behind the desk smiled when she saw my ticket. First class to Maldives. Lucky you. Yeah, I said. Long overdue. Boarding started in 3 hours. I sat at the gate and finally looked at my phone. 37 missed calls. 62 text messages. I scrolled through a few of them. You can't do this. I need that money now. His bail hearing is in 3 hours. How could you be so selfish? Answer your phone. This is ridiculous. Then one from a number I didn't recognize. This is Bradley. Your wife's ex-man to man. I really need help here. She said you guys were solid. Don't let me down. I actually laughed out loud. Man to man. This guy had some nerve. I blocked the number and kept scrolling. More from her. The bail bondsman needs 10% up front. I only have $700 left. That's not enough. Answer me. Fine. I'll figure it out myself. Like I always do. That last one almost made me respond. Almost. Because she did not, in fact, always figure it out herself. I'd been figuring it out for her for 7 years. Her car repairs. Her student loan payments when she forgot to budget for them. Her sister's baby shower that somehow cost $800. But sure, she always figured it out herself. I put my phone on airplane mode and waited for boarding. When they called first class, I walked down the jetway with my carry-on and didn't look back. The first-class cabin was everything I'd seen in pictures but never experienced. Leather seats that reclined into beds. A flight attendant who brought me champagne before takeoff. Noise-canceling headphones that actually worked. I took airplane mode off once we were at cruising altitude and connected to the Wi-Fi. Big mistake. 114 notifications. I scrolled through them while sipping a drink that probably cost more than my usual Friday night dinner. Her messages had evolved from angry to desperate to absolutely unhinged. I had to borrow money from my mother. Do you know how humiliating that was? She only had $400. I'm still short. I called your brother. He won't even answer. Bradley's bail hearing got moved to tomorrow morning. I have one night to figure this out. Then about an hour ago, where are you? I drove by the house. Your truck isn't there. 15 minutes after that. Called your work. They said you took emergency leave. What emergency? Then 5 minutes ago. Are you seriously on a plane right now? Flight tracker shows your name on a flight to Maldives. I had to give her credit. She was resourceful when motivated. I typed back, handling a family emergency. Mine. Enjoy your crisis management. Her response came through instantly. She must have been staring at her phone. You absolute piece of garbage. I can't believe you'd abandon me like this. Funny, I wrote back. I was thinking the same thing when you decided our vacation money belonged to your ex-boyfriend. It's an emergency. So is my mental health. Taking care of it now. I blocked her number and leaned back in my seat. The thing is, this wasn't the first time. It was just the most blatant. 3 years ago, she'd loaned her cousin $2,000 without asking me. Money we'd saved for a new roof that was leaking. When I found out, she'd cried and said family helps family. We ended up putting the roof repair on a credit card. 2 years ago, she'd promised her best friend we'd help pay for her destination wedding in Mexico. $1,500 for flights and hotel. I found out when the invoice arrived. When I objected, I was being unsupportive of her friendships. Last year, her brother needed a loan for a business opportunity. For $1,000. Gone. Never saw it again. When I brought it up, she accused me of being bitter and keeping score. I wasn't keeping score. I was noticing a pattern. And the pattern was simple. Everyone else came first. Her family, her friends, her ex-boyfriend who apparently couldn't make bail on his own. But me? The guy working 50-hour weeks to keep our bills paid while she worked part-time at a boutique because she needed fulfillment? I was supposed to understand, to be supportive, to put family first. Well, I was putting family first now. My phone buzzed with messages from numbers I didn't recognize. Her mother, her sister, someone named Violet who I vaguely remembered from a birthday party 2 years ago. All variations of the same message. How could you do this to her? She needs you. I turned off notifications and watched a movie. Then another. Then I slept for 6 hours in a seat that was more comfortable than my bed at home. When I woke up, we were descending into Maldives. The sun was rising over the Indian Ocean, orange and pink spreading across water so blue it looked fake. I checked my phone one last time before landing. 47 new messages from blocked numbers and people I barely knew, and one from her that must have come through before I blocked her. Bradley's still in jail. The bondsman won't work with me because I don't have enough. This is your fault. When you get back, we're done. I stared at that last sentence. When you get back, we're done. I typed out a response before I could overthink it. Don't wait up. I'll handle the paperwork when I'm ready. Enjoy explaining to everyone why your marriage ended because you chose your ex-boyfriend over your husband. Then I blocked every single number that had contacted me in the last 12 hours, powered off my phone, and got ready to enjoy paradise. Alone. Exactly how I wanted it. The resort was absurd. In the best way possible. My villa sat on stilts over crystal clear water. I could see fish swimming below the glass floor panel in my room. The bathroom had a tub bigger than my truck bed. The minibar was included. Everything was included. I spent the first day doing absolutely nothing. Slept until noon. Ordered room service. Sat on my private deck and watched the ocean. On day 2, I turned my phone back on. Briefly, just to check if anything actually important had happened. 3 voicemails from my boss asking if I was okay and to take all the time I needed. 1 from my brother asking what the hell was going on. And 236 texts, calls, and social media messages from everyone else. I listened to my brother's voicemail while eating fresh grilled fish on my deck. Dude, your wife is losing it. She's calling everyone we know saying you stole her money and abandoned her in a crisis. Mom's freaking out. What's actually going on? I called him back. He answered on the first ring. Where are you? Maldives. Drinking something with an umbrella in it. Living my best life. Silence. Then, you're joking. Not even a little. She wanted to use our vacation fund to bail out her ex-boyfriend. I took my half and left. Now I'm enjoying the vacation we were supposed to take together. Minus the bad company. Her ex-boyfriend? Bradley. You know him? Dude, everyone knows about Bradley. He's been in and out of trouble since high school. What did he get arrested for this time? No idea. Didn't ask. Don't care. My brother laughed. Actually laughed. Man, I thought you were going to put up with her garbage forever. Good for you. What's she telling people? That you're having a mental breakdown and stole joint money she needed for a family emergency. Her mom called our mom crying about what a monster you are. The whole thing's a mess. Let me guess. Nobody's asking why she needed the money for her ex-boyfriend. Oh, people are asking. Trust me, the story's not making her look good, especially after Violet posted about it. Violet, her friend. Apparently, she's Team Bradley for some reason and posted a long thing on social media about how bail reform is important and people shouldn't abandon their partners in hard times. But then someone commented asking why your wife's partner needed bail money, and it spiraled from there. I took a long drink. Good. So what's the plan? Finish my vacation. File for divorce when I get back. Move on with my life. She's going to fight it. Let her. I've got texts showing she prioritized her ex over our marriage. Pretty clear cut. We talked for another 20 minutes. He filled me in on the social fallout. Her family was circling the wagons, but mutual friends were split. Some thought I overreacted. Others thought she'd lost her mind. I didn't care about either opinion. After hanging up, I scrolled through some of the messages. Most weren't worth reading, but one from a coworker caught my attention. Hey man, didn't want to bother you, but thought you should know your wife showed up at the office today looking for you. Security wouldn't let her past the lobby. She caused a scene. HR wants to talk to you when you're back. Perfect. She was really handling this well. I sent a quick response. Thanks for the heads up. I'll deal with it when I return. Then I saw messages from another unknown number. I almost didn't open them, but something made me curious. This is Penny, your neighbor. I don't know what's going on, but there's been a lot of activity at your place. Your wife had some guy move in yesterday. Thought you should know. My jaw tightened. I wrote back, guy? Describe him. Tall, brown hair, drives a beat-up Mustang. She said he's staying temporarily while getting back on his feet. Bradley, my ex-wife, because that's what she was now in my mind, had moved her ex-boyfriend into our house. The house I paid rent on. The house with my name on the lease. The house she was living in because of me. I took a screenshot of Penny's message. Then I called my landlord. Hey, it's me. I need to ask about the lease situation. He was understanding. The lease was in my name only. She had no legal right to have someone else living there without my permission and without them being on the lease. I'm out of the country for another week, I told him. But when I get back, I'm going to need to make some changes. You want me to serve her an eviction notice? Not yet. I'll handle it personally. Just wanted to know where I stand legally. You're good. It's your place. You're the only one on the lease. I thanked him and hung up. Then I unblocked her number and sent one message. Heard you moved Bradley in. Bold choice. Hope he's helping with rent since he'll be homeless again in about 8 days. I blocked her again before she could respond. The sun was setting. The resort was serving fresh lobster at the beachside restaurant. I had 7 more days of paradise before I had to go back and clean up the disaster she created. 7 more days of peace before the confrontation. I intended to enjoy every single one of them. Day 5 in paradise. I was getting a massage when my phone started buzzing nonstop on the table next to me. The therapist paused. Would you like me to turn that off for you? Please. She powered it down and continued working out the knots in my shoulders. Knots I didn't even know I had until someone actually cared enough to fix them. After the massage, I grabbed lunch at the pool bar and finally checked what the fuss was about. Her mother had somehow gotten my email address. The subject line read, Urgent, Family Emergency. I opened it. I don't know what lies she's told you, but your wife is a good woman going through a difficult time. Bradley made mistakes, yes, but he's trying to turn his life around, and she's being a good Christian by helping him. You abandoned her when she needed you most. Your father would be ashamed. Come home and fix this before you destroy your marriage completely. My father passed away 6 years ago. Bringing him into this was a new low. I deleted the email without responding. Then I saw one from her sister. You always seem nice, but I guess I was wrong. She's crying every day. Bradley's lawyer says he might get charged with felony possession if someone doesn't help with legal fees. She can't afford it alone. You took her safety net. How do you sleep at night? I wrote back, on 1,000 thread count sheets in a villa over the Indian Ocean. Sleeping great, actually. Thanks for asking. Sent. Then an email from someone claiming to be Bradley's public defender. I almost deleted it, but the official letterhead made me pause. Mr. Title. I represent Bradley Kingston in his current legal matter. I understand there's been some confusion regarding financial support from your spouse. While I cannot discuss details of his case, I wanted to reach out regarding the ongoing domestic situation. If you'd like to discuss this matter professionally, please contact my office. I forwarded it to a divorce attorney my brother had recommended. Added a note. Retainer attached. Let's get started. Within 2 hours, I had a response. She'd reviewed everything I sent. Text messages, bank records, emails. Her assessment was straightforward. Open and shut. Marital misconduct. Misuse of joint funds. You'll keep your separate assets, split the joint ones, and be done. Want me to file now or wait until you're back? File now. Serve her at the house. Done. Papers will be delivered tomorrow morning. I closed my laptop and ordered another drink. That evening, I got a call from an unknown number with a local area code. Against my better judgment, I answered. Is this really necessary? Her voice. Different number. Probably borrowed someone's phone. Is what necessary? Divorce papers? I got served an hour ago. In front of Bradley. Do you know how humiliating that was? I actually laughed. You got served divorce papers in front of your ex-boyfriend who's living in my house, and you're worried about humiliation? That's remarkable. He's not living here. He's staying temporarily. In my house. That I pay for. Without my permission. With my soon-to-be ex-wife. Yeah, I'm sure that distinction matters a lot. You don't understand. He has nowhere to go. Not my problem. Never was. You made it yours. So that's it. 7 years of marriage and you're just done. No. 7 years of marriage where I came last. The vacation fund was just the final example. I'm done being an ATM for your charity cases. That's not fair. You wanted to bail out your ex instead of going on our honeymoon do-over. Tell me what part of that is fair. Silence. Then, I need time to figure things out. Can you at least give me that? You've got until I get back. Then Bradley leaves, or you both do. The lease is in my name, not yours. You can't just kick me out. I live here. Watch me. My attorney says I have every right to control who stays in a property I'm solely responsible for. And I don't want him there. Where am I supposed to go? Ask Bradley. Or your mother. Or Violet. Or any of the people who think I'm the villain here. I'm sure they'll help. You know, family first and all that. I hung up. My phone rang again immediately. I blocked that number too. The next morning, my attorney emailed an update. She's requesting mediation. Wants to negotiate terms. Also claims you're withholding marital property by staying in Maldives. Her attorney is grasping at straws. I replied, no mediation. Standard divorce proceedings. I'll be back in 4 days. We can handle everything then. For more days of this view. For more days of actual peace. For more days before I had to go back and finish what she started. But I wasn't worried. For the first time in years, I was exactly where I wanted to be. Doing exactly what I wanted to do. And nobody was guilt-tripping me into putting them first. The flight back felt different. 10 days ago, I was running away from a disaster. Now I was coming back to end it on my terms. I landed at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. Didn't tell anyone I was coming home early. Drove straight from the airport to the house. Bradley's beat-up Mustang was parked in my spot. In my driveway. At my house. I sat in my truck for a minute, letting that sink in. This clown had the nerve to take my parking spot. I grabbed my bag and walked to the front door. Used my key. It didn't work. She'd changed the locks. On a house she didn't own. That she had no legal right to alter. I knocked. Hard. Footsteps. The door opened. Bradley stood there in sweatpants and a tank top. Holding a beer. My beer from the fridge I stocked. Oh, hey man. He had the audacity to look uncomfortable. Didn't know you were back. I pushed past him into my own house. Get out of my way. She came around the corner from the kitchen. Froze when she saw me. You're early. And you changed my locks. Cute. Illegal, but cute. Bradley shut the door behind me. Look, we can all be adults about this. I turned to face him. Adults? You want to talk about being adults? You're a grown man living in another man's house, drinking his beer, after your ex-girlfriend bailed you out with money she stole from her husband. That's not being an adult. That's being a leech. Hey, watch it. Or what? You'll have me arrested? With what money? Oh wait, you don't have any. That's why you're here. My wife stepped between us. Stop it. Both of you. I looked at her. Actually looked at her. She'd lost weight. Had circles under her eyes. Looked miserable. Good. You changed the locks on property you don't own, I said calmly. That's illegal. You moved someone onto the lease without authorization. Also illegal. You've been served divorce papers. You know this is over. So I'm going to make this very simple. We need to talk about this. No, we don't. You made your choice when you decided his crisis mattered more than our marriage. I made mine when I got on that plane. Now here's what happens next. You have two options. Bradley opened his mouth. I held up a hand. You don't get to talk. This is between me and her. You're just the symptom of a bigger problem. He shut up. I turned back to her. Option 1. Bradley leaves right now. Tonight. You pack his garbage, put him in his car, and he goes. You stay until the divorce is final, then you figure out your next move. We split everything 50-50, nobody gets petty, and we move on. And option 2. Option 2. You both leave. Tonight. I call the landlord right now. Explain you changed locks without permission and moved in an unauthorized tenant. He files for immediate eviction. You fight it, you lose, and it goes on your rental history. Good luck finding a place after that. Plus, I keep everything in this house since you'll be in breach of about 6 different clauses. You can't do that. I absolutely can. The lease is in my name. Only my name. I checked with the landlord and an attorney. You want to test me? Go ahead. Bradley finally spoke up. Babe, maybe I should just go. Don't call her that in my house. He bristled. What's your problem, man? She was just helping me out. I took 2 steps toward him. Not aggressive. Just closing the distance. Making him understand I wasn't intimidated. My problem? Let me break this down for you since you seem confused. You got arrested. Your ex-girlfriend, who's married, decided to bail you out with money she didn't have. Money her husband worked for. Money that was supposed to be for their vacation. She picked you over him. And you had the stones to move into his house like that's normal. That's my problem. You're a user. And she enabled you. But that stops tonight. I didn't ask her to do any of that. You didn't stop her either. You took the money. You moved in here. You're drinking my beer and parking in my spot. So yeah, you're complicit. My wife's voice cracked. This isn't fair. He had nowhere else to go. That's not my responsibility. It never was. You made it yours without asking me, without considering me, without giving a single thought to what this would do to us. So now you get to deal with the consequences. I was trying to help someone. You were trying to play savior for a guy who's been a mess since high school, according to everyone who knows him. You sacrificed our marriage for someone who wouldn't do the same for you. That's not helping. That's self-destruction. She started crying. The same manipulation that used to work. It didn't anymore. You've got 30 minutes to decide, I said. Option 1 or option 2. Choose. Bradley grabbed his jacket. I'll just go? This isn't worth it. Smart choice. He looked at her. I'll call you tomorrow. No, I said. You won't. Because if you contact her while we're still legally married, I'll make sure it's documented as alienation of affection. Some states still recognize that. Ours is one of them. Try me. He left without another word. The Mustang started up and pulled away. My wife stood there, tears streaming down her face. I can't believe you just humiliated me like that. I can't believe you brought your ex-boyfriend into our home and expected me to be okay with it. We're not the same. What now? Now you sleep in the guest room. I'm changing the locks tomorrow, and only I get a key. You stay until the divorce is done. You don't bring anyone here. You don't touch my stuff. And when it's over, you leave. Those are the terms. And if I say no, I pulled out my phone and opened my landlord's contact. Held it up so she could see. Then I make a call, and you're out tonight. She looked at the phone, then at me, then nodded. Good. I'm going to bed. In my room. Lock your door if it makes you feel better. I walked past her, went to the bedroom, and shut the door. For the first time in 10 days, I was back in my own house. And for the first time in 7 years, it actually felt like mine. 3 months later, I signed the last piece of paper. The divorce was final. My attorney slid the document across the table. That's it. You're officially single. I signed my name, dated it, and pushed it back. She'd fought at first. Tried to claim she deserved more because she'd invested emotional labor into the marriage. Her attorney actually used those words in court. The judge wasn't impressed. The settlement was straightforward. I kept my truck, my savings account, and my personal belongings. She got her car and half of what was left in the joint account after I'd taken my vacation. About $600. The furniture in the house got split down the middle. She took what she wanted and moved out 2 weeks after I got back from Maldives. Turns out her mother had a basement apartment. That's where she ended up. Bradley disappeared completely. Turns out his legal troubles were for possession with intent to distribute. He took a plea deal and got 18 months. She tried to visit him once, according to her sister. He told her not to come back. Funny how that worked out. My brother helped me move into a smaller place across town. 1-bedroom apartment. Affordable. Quiet. Mine. The day I moved in, I got a text from Penny, my old neighbor. Heard you're starting fresh. Good for you. She came by yesterday asking if I knew where you went. Didn't tell her anything. Take care of yourself. I appreciated that more than she knew. Work had been understanding about everything. My supervisor pulled me aside when I came back and said personal problems happened, and he was glad I took care of myself. Gave me a project managing role with a decent raise. Apparently, actually taking your mental health seriously earns respect. The money I'd spent in Maldives was worth every cent. I'd gone back through the photos on my phone a dozen times. Sunsets over the ocean. Fresh meals on my deck. That massage that fixed years of tension. I'd earned that vacation. Earned the peace. Earned the right to put myself first for once. Her social media told the story she wanted people to hear. How she'd survived a difficult season and was learning to love herself again. A lot of inspirational quotes. A lot of vague posting about betrayal and growth. Our mutual friends picked sides. Some thought I was cold. Most understood once they heard the full story. A few just stopped talking to both of us, which was probably smart. I didn't post anything. Didn't need to. The people who mattered knew what happened. 6 months after the divorce was final, I was having dinner with some coworkers when I got a message from an unknown number. This is Violet. I know we don't know each other well, but I owe you an apology. I defended her without knowing the whole story. That was wrong. Hope you're doing well. I didn't respond. Some apologies come too late to matter. Instead, I finished my meal, paid my check, and drove home to my apartment. It was quiet, clean, exactly how I left it. No surprises, no drama, no one demanding I fix their problems with money I worked for. I made coffee and sat on my balcony. It overlooked a parking lot, not the ocean. But it was mine. My phone buzzed. A reminder I'd set months ago, book next vacation. I opened my laptop and started browsing. Japan looked interesting. So did Iceland. Norway had those fjords everyone talked about. I had options now. Time, money, freedom, everything I'd been missing for 7 years. The coffee was good. The evening air was cool. I had nowhere to be and nothing to prove. I picked Norway. Booked a 2-week trip for next spring. Solo traveler. No one to check with. No one to argue about budget. No one to bail out with my travel fund. Just me, making decisions for myself. The way it should have been all along. I closed the laptop, leaned back in my chair, and watched the sunset behind the buildings across the street. It wasn't Maldives, but it was enough. And for the first time in longer than I could remember, enough actually felt like plenty.